And welcome everyone to round number 2 here at Second to the Place for our 5th league challenge here for our VGC event. I am Jesus Coronel. This is Dennis Geisler. We're going to have round 2 coverage between Jae Jee and Ivan Garcia for round number 2.
Yeah, this is a really interesting one. It's a couple of Pokemon that definitely have their place in this metagame, but some of them that don't really have the peak slot, I guess.
Let's go over the teams here. Jay is going to be on the Whimsicott, Golden Go, Tyranitar, Paldean Tauros Aqua Breed, Hisuian Typhlosion, and Hydreigon, while Ivan Garcia with the Swag Sunglasses going to have the Porygon 2, Incineroar, Golden Go, Primarina, Amoonguss, and Como-O.
That is incredibly swag, you're absolutely right there. Yeah, two of those Pseudo-Legend Dragon types here, the Hydreigon and the Como-O, they both certainly have their place in this metagame. Hydreigon with the Life Orb, big damage, pretty fast, does tons of special damage. Como-O with the Iron Defense Body Press as a really nice feature of it.
It hits everything except for the 2 ghost types, unfortunately, for out of Jay's side, which is going to be the Golden Go and the Hisuian Typhlosion.
Yeah, and I mean, both of those Pokemon have reasons to Terra. I think the big issue, even more than that, is that Como-O's only other move is Flash Cannon, which also does not hit either of those Pokemon. Even if they do Terra, it doesn't hit either of them, and if they don't Terra, it doesn't hit either of them particularly hard. So we might not see the Como-O this set.
And that's the case. I think Ivan's win condition might actually end up being the Primarina or the Golden Go, because both of them have various ways to set themselves up.
Yeah, indeed, the Golden Go. This is
what is that profile picture about of Ivan?
Wait, I didn't see that. We'll look at it in game 2.
Alright, Porygon Incineroar from Ivan here. It's going to be Whimsicott, Golden Go for Jay. So it's going to be a big offensive lead from Whimsicott and Golden Go from Jay. Porygon 2 would like to set a Trick Room if it can, especially with a special attack download boost.
Yeah, and this is the Specs Golden Go for Jay, which it doesn't do a ton of damage to these 2 Pokemon, to be perfectly honest. I'm curious how this Whimsicott doesn't have Tailwind. I cut myself off in the middle of the sentence, but this Whimsicott doesn't have Tailwind.
That is interesting to see.
It doesn't really matter against Ivan's team, because these are a lot of really slow Pokemon. All these Pokemon are actually comically slow. I think Golden Go might be the fastest one on this team, and Golden Go is not a fast Pokemon. So I don't think it'll matter too much in this matchup, but it just really hit me when that happened.
Yeah. Oh, the special attack was just gone from that Moonblast that Whimsicott threw out here. Okay, Jay tried to protect the Terra flying onto the Porygon 2. Instead, it goes down to a singular knockoff onto this Golden Go from Incineroar. So we'll get to see the choice specs get knocked off from Golden Go from Ivan, and Porygon 2 goes with the Trick Room. I'm interested to find out why Jay thought Terra Flying Porygon 2 was the play.
I think maybe thinking that, but also potentially thinking that the Make It Rain wasn't going to do a ton of damage. Shadow Ball obviously didn't even hit the Porygon 2, and Make It Rain would drop your special attack stat. Maybe Jay wanted to linger out there a little bit longer and keep clicking those Thunderbolts and try to get 3 or 4 down to take down the Porygon 2 over a couple of turns. Clearly, you did not have the luxury to do that with the knockoff pressure.
Yeah, there was really no luxury in that regard. But this Encore from Whimsicott can potentially lock this Porygon 2 into a Trick Room to reverse it. And we see Incineroar switch out from Ivan. Potentially see what's going to be coming in for the slot. It's going to be Como-O, a Pokemon that you didn't think would reappear.
I didn't, but if you can get the Golden Go out of the way, then perhaps it is actually a pretty solid choice in this setup.
Interesting to note as well, this Encore did not come out from Whimsicott. It's a Rock Slide coming in for this Tyranitar. Oh no, down goes Como-O, the Moonblast read!
Oh man, I don't know to what degree it was a read or just trying to do a bunch of damage to that Incineroar, but in either case, that certainly was not what Ivan wanted. Some real wacky turns so far, and I think that brought Jay a bit back into this one.
Alright, we see the last Pokemon from Ivan going to be that Golden Go. I mean, last Pokemon, excuse me, I don't know why I was thinking item. There was no knockoff there for the Incineroar this time around.
Yeah. At this point, I mean, you've got to feel pretty good with this setup for Jay. You do have the knockoff to hit the Golden Go in the other direction.
Is this Tyranitar slower than Golden Go?
I think it has to be. Tyranitar's pretty darn slow. And you could also lock in this Porygon into Recover. Obviously, it means that the Porygon is recovering, but it also means it's using up all that PP and like isn't doing anything on the field. So that might be a potential choice. There's also Porygon 2 just doesn't do anything to this Tyranitar. It's something to keep an eye on later into this set.
The Terra come out here from Ivan's Golden Go, which is also happened to be Steel.
Yeah.
And it is holding a Metal Coat, so don't think this is just a choice specs on the Golden Go for like no reason on the Terra Steel. It is boosted thanks to the Metal Coat that it has. Thunderbolt comes out onto the Tyranitar, knockoff, goes into the Golden Go, does half damage, it will knock out that Metal Coat as well, so not only does it avoid getting knocked out, it will avoid losing a lot of damage off it, although this Make It Rain will do pretty good damage to the Whimsicott, and as we do know, it was a Covert Cloak, not a Focus Sash. This Porygon 2 launched a Thunderbolt into the Tyranitar. I'm trying to have a look at this Terra typing. It is flying. Was it a Terra lead, or was it just trying to read a switch in?
I think it was just trying to do damage. Thunderbolt's neutral. Terra Blast wouldn't have done anything. Terra Flying, Terra Blast wouldn't have done anything. I think that's one of the issues here is that a lot of the times you'll see the Terra fighting Porygon 2, even specifically for this matchup, as well as hitting other Porygon 2s. In this case, you don't really hit the Tyranitar at all.
And then, yeah, it's also finding interesting to see that Jay brought out his Swinging Typhlosion, which looks pretty good to launch Eruptions, if it weren't for the fact that it's probably slower than both Porygon 2 and the Golden Go.
It probably is, yeah. I don't think the Tyranitar should have any issue knocking out the Golden Go at this point. I guess the issue is more... And then at that point, the issue is, okay, what does Porygon 2 actually do to you?
Well, nothing here. He's going to switch out back into the Incineroar.
Could actually be a pretty nice turn here for Jay. Although you do get the attack drop onto the Tyranitar, which is pretty unfortunate if you are Jay, but
yeah, it is permanent.
Typhlosion should be able to clean this up.
Yeah, it's also a permanent drop as well here. Jay going to go ahead and Terra. I believe he was hovering the Typhlosion for the Terra. It will be Terra Fire.
Terra Fire with Charcoal. Actually only has the one fire move, Eruption as its only fire move, so if it wants to...
Oh, okay, comes out. Ah, not enough thanks to the Intimidate drop onto the Golden Go. Shadow Ball comes out, so it will lower the damage on Eruption, and it will be able to survive at least one pretty comfortably. Special Defense drop, but I think that might be too late, as a matter of fact. This Eruption will take out the Golden Go, but it won't really do much to the Incineroar.
Yeah, that was a super critical turn, actually, and a really nice play for Ivan. I really thought the low kick was going to knock out the Golden Go, and I think Jay probably thought that as well. Golden Go, I guess I don't know how heavy that thing is, but clearly the answer is not heavy enough for Jay, at least. I'm
interested to see what the Porygon 2 down boost is going to be for Ivan. It's going to be Special Attack again!
Yeah, it certainly will be. And
that Terra Blast will touch that Typhlosion for pretty good damage. I think this is also the last turn of Trick Room, as a matter of fact, for Ivan.
I think it will, so this might be a Protect turn for the Typhlosion, see if you can get like maybe a knockoff or something onto the Porygon 2 with the Tyranitar, or trying to hit the Incineroar or something. I think at this point you just don't have any damage on the Incineroar for Jay, and that's what's going to end up taking you down here. Even if you're able to work around the Porygon 2 enough.
Bless you.
Excuse me. Even if you're able to work around the Porygon 2 enough, I don't know that there's any damage on the Incineroar, unless the Tyranitar is able to get something off.
Which won't be happening with the Fake Out.
Yeah.
And a Recover comes out from the Porygon 2. So it's going to be up to the Typhlosion from Jay to do some damage here with Eruption. Should go for it, and it will be another Eruption. I don't think this is really going to be doing a whole lot of damage at the Porygon 2, especially after the Recover. Yeah, I mean, Incineroar's going to go down pretty lengthily. Oh, that was a critical hit.
I was going to say, that felt like a lot of damage against Incineroar. Although Incineroar's not taking the Sand Chip because it's got those safety goggles.
And its Twisted Dimensions do return to normal.
That is pretty useful for Jay. It's just so difficult because your only move that does anything here is Eruption. But that's doing less and less with time. You might have to hope for something crazy with Rock Slide.
Another Eruption comes out from Jay's Typhlosion here. besides doing pretty decent damage, but it is losing damage over time because of the expansion that it's been taking. Good Porygon 2 onto the red. Knockoff goes off onto the Tyranitar, removes its Assault Vest. Yeah, it is Assault Vest. I almost wanted to check the team sheet real quick. Here's Rock Slide. This will knock out the Incineroar. Won't do damage to Porygon 2. Will Porygon 2 flinch here is the bigger question to be asking, because if it does, you win the game, I think, on the spot. If not, yeah, the trigger goes up. Then your next task is to knock out the Eviolite.
Yeah, and the question here...
And the Sand's gone as well.
The Sand's gone, which means that Tyranitar probably drops to...
Oh, wait, no. Hold on. Jay wins the game here, actually. Jay wins the game because, you got a solid recover. So that forces Jay to go, okay, you're recovering. I'm just going to damage you. Make sure that Eviolite doesn't become a problem. Oh, never mind. It's just low kick. I thought knockout was coming out.
Yeah. How much does this Eruption do?
It's single target now, at least.
It is single target now. Okay, yeah, Jay definitely has enough to win this game. Yeah, I think if you're Ivan, you actually have to... you can't use Recover there. You're going to get knocked out. I don't think you actually outdamage the things here. Yeah, and the knockoff definitely is gonna ruin things for Ivan here.
Here comes one more Eruption from Jay's Typhlosion. It's only Fire-type damaging move. It's not enough to knock out the Porygon 2, but I don't think another Eruption's gonna save. I don't think another Recover's gonna save it this time.
Yeah, I think that last turn Ivan actually had to go for a Terra Blast into the Typhlosion and hope that you took whatever Tyranitar was going to use against you, which I think it actually did at that amount of HP. It would have been very close. This doesn't... I think Porygon 2 is going to get knocked out here.
Okay, does decent damage there. And there is the Eruption that's going to finish it off. Jay going to take game number 1.
Yeah, I think Ivan had a route into that game, but Jay definitely played well around the win conditions. And as much as we were joking about the reduced Eruption damage, it's still, what, around this HP level? It's like 75 base power with Charcoal, with Terra Fire. You're still doing some good damage there. Oh, hey, look at the look at the Koraidon.
I don't know if we're allowed to talk about the Koraidon specifically.
Koraidon's a friend.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel a little uneasy about that Koraidon specifically.
So for game number 2, I mean, Ivan definitely showed that these Pokemon are bulky. Like, this is an extraordinarily bulky team. I feel like we probably don't see Komao in game number 2.
It really just swapped into a Moonblast.
It did just swap into a Moonblast, and I think even aside from that, it doesn't do a whole lot in this matchup.
And if it doesn't, then what do you have to bring in here? Do you Moonblast to take advantage of the Trick Room, or do you bring Primarina to really threaten the Typhlosion?
I think the Primarina, honestly. I think that there's a lot of value the Primarina gets. And frankly, the Primarina does take advantage of Trick Room. Primarina's very slow. It might be somewhere in the neighborhood. I don't know if it underspeeds Tyranitar, but definitely underspeeds a decent amount of the rest of that team. Certainly underspeeds the Typhlosion, that's for sure. And so you can launch out those, it is Liquid Voice, you can launch out those Liquid Voice Hyper Voices and start getting that damage down. I mean, it hits most of this team pretty well, to be perfectly honest. Hyper Voice is super effective against 2 of these Pokemon, Moonblast is super effective against 2 more. Golden Go's the only thing that doesn't take a ton of damage against anything here, and frankly, I mean, you got the Golden Go out of the way early last time. I mean, that's the thing for Jay, is that, I mean, it always feels good when you win despite something really bad happening for you, and getting hit with knockoff on your Golden Go turn 1 is that really bad thing happening to you. So Jay definitely has an opportunity to switch that up. So I think the leads might be very different in this game.
I mean, I don't think they're going to be different for Ivan specifically, because you need Trick Room to function against this matchup. Because although we do now know that this Lister does not have a Tailwind, to my own personal surprise, because that's how you always run Whimsicott, because it's one of the best Tailwind supporters in the game, as of right now, with Tornadoes being gone from the format.
Yeah, I mean,
and it will be the identical lead from Ivan. Did Jay switch it up? Yes! There is a Golden Go Tyranitar lead instead of Golden Go and Whimsicott.
It's not how I thought this was going to change up, but honestly, I think I like it. It does mean that the Tyranitar gets intimidated, which is kind of unfortunate.
And another special attack was at the download.
Yeah. I don't like Whimsicott into this matchup, frankly. I mean, I guess if you have Whimsicott in the back, it could be fine, but I don't love Whimsicott in this matchup in general. I guess the problem here is trying to get anything out of this Tyranitar while you are... at -1.
So there's a fake out going out into the Tyranitar, so no chance to go for that knockoff into that slot, but instead it's going to be trick into the, what I presume is going to be the Porygon 2 to give it those choice specs, which sounds dangerous when you already gave it. Oh, it's Incineroar.
Yeah. I like that. You lock it into fake out. It means that it's kind of in an awkward spot. It has to switch out this turn now.
And there's Trick Room.
Trick Room does get up. That is unfortunate if you are Jae. Not ideal, I suppose, if you're Jae. Although at this point you can also, frankly, use Trick again to try to get the Eviolite off of the Porygon 2.
Or if you're slow, I mean, you're not slower than the Porygon 2, but you are slow enough that the Incineroar won't really threaten you with a parting shot or anything.
It can't do anything. It's got a fake out.
Wait.
Right? Am I crazy?
The fake out goes first before the choice specs.
The fake out go first? Okay, so you're not locked into it yet.
I believe that's how that works.
Okay.
Although I could be wrong about that as well. I've been wrong about many things.
Hey, there's a 1,000 of these Pokemon. It's hard to know what every single one of them does.
The Como is back.
Hey, there is no Moonblast to hit it right now.
No, there is not. Golden going to get out of here as well to not get hit by Flare Blitz or knockoff should the hunch of the 26 not being active at the immediate moment is true. Here's Polian Tauros Aqua Breed from Jae, which will intimidate both the Como and the Incineroar, although Como may not matter because of the body press damage output. Flare Blitz will comfortably be taken by Tauros. Oh, wait a minute. Was that a critical hit? Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was a critical hit. I was going to say, that does not feel like the damage that should have done.
Oh, but knockoff is going to knock out the other ones out of the Como.
That's a nice knockoff. It does probably, I mean, there's one Pokemon on Jae's team that Ivan has not seen yet. If Ivan feels reasonably comfortable that it is not the Whimsicott, Ivan's got to feel really good about just clicking Iron Defense here. I mean, the problem here is that Como just takes the chip damage over time. Como is not in a fantastic spot long term because you just slowly take chip. And you don't... I don't know if you have the time to set up. I think Ivan definitely is going to be capable of winning this game if Como has time to set up. I don't know if it has that time.
Yeah, Como might need maybe two Iron Defenses to really get going here. And now the Incineroar going to swap out from Ivan, going to bring back... Oh, no, I see the fourth one from Ivan, which is going to be the Primarina.
Yeah, and as I said, I like that Primarina.
What's looking really much at is the soloist Pokemon, according to the Pokedex.
Yeah.
And here comes Rock Slide from Tyranitar, going to go ahead and connect onto this Primarina. Unfortunately, not doing a whole lot of damage, there's always going to be spread moves. And the Raging Bull going to go in for the Primarina, gets it towards half HP, which will be confirmed with the Sandstorm chip.
Yeah, and I think the thing about this right now is that Jae can play the clock a little bit. Not literally the clock, but can play the clock to a degree, in the sense that Sandchip whittles down these Pokemon. You take their hits much better than they take your hits. If you can just whittle down Como, get some damage down, just get little bits done, you will probably end up winning this if you are Jae. The slower this game plays out.
Well, and here comes another Intimidate from this Incineroar to the attack of... No, never mind. Tauros has to clear amulet. Yeah. Let me go ahead and rephrase my statement. It only drops the Tyranitar's attack, and its hair comes out from, I believe, Jae.
I think it is, yeah. And I think that has to be, it's going to be the Terraflying Tyranitar. It's not weak to Hyper Voice anymore, I think is the main reason you would go for this. And it means that you can get a hit down this turn and then switch out your Tyranitar and be able to get Sand back up later, because the Sand Chip is genuinely one of the top attacking threats on Jae's team right now.
But here's a -2 Terra Blast coming from this Tyranitar into the Primarina, which isn't doing a whole lot of damage. Here's Hyper Voice coming out from Primarina. This Tyranitar still retains an Assault Vest, so it will get at least some damage mitigated.
Nothing.
But it activates the Throat Spray.
It does activate the Throat Spray. It's not a terrible turn for Ivan, but this Tyranitar, and it does take its own Sand Chip now. And loses out on that special defense boost from it gets back with the Assault Vest by technicality. I mean, it doesn't add up anymore. It doesn't add up to that same kind of that.
That would have been 3 times. Yeah, 3 times. Now it's just back to 1.5.
Yeah. In any case, though,
Fake Out Pressure on play for Ivan.
Fake Out Pressure is in play. I think you switch out the Tyranitar right now. I think you want to keep that Sand up. I think you want to keep Tyranitar active. I don't know that you want to, like, let it drop here. Although I don't know what you would necessarily switch into, especially in front of this Incineroar. That clearly wants to click one of its funny moves.
And, oh, never mind. We see the Aqua come out. Okay, not going to Incineroar quite yet. Rock Slide.
Good damage.
Yeah, doesn't knock out either Pokemon. Party Shot comes out into the Tyranitar. And, yeah, we also noticed Incineroar has Choice Spec, so it will switch out to at least avoid getting KO'd by Sand. But I also forget this is the last turn of Sand.
I think it is, yeah.
So this is the last turn Primarina survives the turn.
Well, we'll hold for the result of this turn.
It's just Porygon 2 or Como that can switch in here.
Mm-hmm.
And I would believe Porygon 2 is the safer switch in.
I think Porygon 2, yeah, especially because Trick Room ends, I think, next turn.
Yep.
Or actually, it might end this turn. Yeah, no, it definitely ends this turn.
And it is Porygon 2 coming back in for Ivan.
Yeah. I think it's good because the Porygon 2 is not under a ton of threat, and so you can get that Trick Room off for free, and the Prim does flinch.
Wow! But fortunately, the Trick Room is... Well, not good for Ivan because the Trick Room is gone, but good news, Sand did not knock out Primarina.
Yeah, I mean, the unfortunate thing is that you get hit with a bunch of damage now.
So, Ivan's damage realistically goes down to Porygon 2 and Como-O. Como-O needs like maybe one or two Iron defenses get going. Porygon 2 did get a special attack boost, but no, Terra's still available. So you can go Terra Blast Flying should you want to. You can also go Thunderbolt should you want to.
Mm-hmm.
Not completely over.
It's not completely over, but I do think this is a really awkward spot for Ivan to be in. What is the Terra going to be? It's got to be the Porygon 2?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's still already weak to close combat. I think that's what...
Yeah, you've got to make sure you don't get hit by close combat, because you probably lose if you get hit by close combat, to be completely honest.
Alright, we're going to see the turn play out here. Primarina protects in front of the Tauros, just in case things would have gone south. It is a close combat. It will resist it now to the flying typing. Yep, pretty comfortable. Pretty comfortable taking that now. The defenses drop from the Tauros. Is this Terra Blast Flying coming out? No, it's another Trick Room!
I was going to say, ideally that is not a Trick Room there, because Primarina now drops to Aqua Jet, and Golden Go has a pretty easy click. You can just click Thunderbolt here. I don't think Jay has to do much more than click buttons for the rest of this game.
Let's be real, that's what every trainer does.
Yeah, that's the Pokemon experience. But regardless, with that Tauros still around, I mean, it also means that you can't really switch in Incineroar back in. Oh, you can. But the Incineroar drops to one more turn of Sand Chip, which the Tyranitar can switch back in and get set up again. But yeah, this is kind of awkward for Ivan. I don't know if Ivan's going to be able to make it out of this. Make it through the next couple turns.
Yeah, there's Aqua Jet going to pick out the Primarina at very low HP with the priority boost.
And that Primarina was a pretty important part of the damage profile for this team.
There's Terra Blast. It probably is going to take their Tauros with the Primarina down with it. It is going to be the case.
That Tauros got work done, though.
And this is a Pokemon that I think a lot of people underestimated heading into Regulation H, as we do see the Thunderbolt go into the Porygon 2. Not doing a whole lot of... I mean, they did half, but, you know, it's not enough to knock out the Golden Go. But going back to the Tauros, I feel like Tauros is just a Pokemon I felt like underestimated from the beginning of Regulation H, and now look where it is at, competing with Incineroar for not only the best Intimidator, but an aggressive Intimidator at that.
Yeah, and it definitely is able to provide a lot of that damage value, and the Aqua Jet is a really nice little feature to have.
Uh-oh, I just realized this Incineroar does not have the safety goggles anymore, so...
Yeah, it doesn't have its safety goggles, so it does actually drop to that Sand Chip.
You gotta be careful. I feel like Jay can just focus on the Porygon 2 and not give a worry.
I think you can, yeah.
Just like, what's the Incineroar gonna do? Fake out your Tyranitar and faint the sand?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's... literally, I think that might be what it does. Because it certainly can't do much else.
I mean, it's holding those choice
I guess it could go for a knockoff against Golden Go. I think that would actually be the best thing it can provide right now.
This situation is definitely on top for Ivan, and it isn't because that his team is not really performing up to standards, so Jay's already like a step ahead of what he's going to do.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And now, I like the Porygon 2 recover.
But is this knockoff plus Thunderbolt onto the Porygon 2? Also, keep in mind, Fake Out did not come out from the Incineroar.
Yeah.
EV Light's now gone, so Thunderbolt will be able to knock out the Porygon 2. But knockout goes into the Golden Go. Not enough for the knockout.
It was a roll before, and it wasn't enough this time. That is probably going to decide this game.
Yeah.
Because that Porygon 2's out of the way now. That is unfortunate.
Yeah, that's a double knockout as well.
Yeah, it sure is, because the Incineroar dropped now.
Yeah, so it's just Como-O versus a Pokemon I can't touch with Body Press, a Pokemon I can't touch with Body Press, and a Pokemon we have yet to see from Jay.
Yeah, and spoiler alert, I think that third Pokemon is going to be able to just knock it out with Draco Meteor.
Here's Como-O coming in from Ivan, and yeah, that's probably going to be it here for round number 2 between Jay and Ivan.
Yeah, with that Terra Blast, probably going to get mopped up pretty quickly. I think Gold can just start clicking moves into this thing as well.
Yeah, because Choice Specs is also gone. You're not forced to click Thunderbolt anymore.
And you know it's not bulletproof because this is Open Team Sheet.
And there's the Terra Blast coming out from the Tyranitar from
I think that
Jay.
was actively a bad decision to protect because Como is going to take damage. Is going to take the Sand Chip damage.
It's Overcoat.
Oh yeah, it's Overcoat. Yeah, you're right.
Tyranitar.
So, yeah, I guess you get 12 extra damage on that Tyranitar. That could be the difference maker.
Probably, but with this being, I think this is also the last turn of Trick Room from Jay. So trying to compose a way to Ivan get back into this game.
I think the Como will then outspeed the Tyranitar, but I don't think it'll outspeed the Golden Go.
What's the play? Like Flash Cannon Golden Go?
You have to. There's nothing else you can do against it.
And then this would be like, how much damage is Terra Blast doing to Como-O? I think that's a better question to ask here. We got our answer right now. It's going to go into the Como-O. It will.
Yeah, that's more than enough damage.
There's Flash Cannon. It is underspeeding Golden Go, so it will go down. And so I even get to see the last Pokemon that Jay brought.
Yeah, and the rest of us will. I think we'll get the celebrity pitch. We'll get the the celebrity Draco to finish this one off.
Oh, Trick Room's gone as well.
Yeah, Trick Room's gone.
And the High Dragon.
I think we get the celebrity Draco.
There is the High Dragon. The last one from Jay's side. Both attacks from Jay's Pokemon between the Tyranitar and High Dragon are enough to get it the knockout.
It's the Draco, yeah. Come on, yeah.
There he comes. Nah.
Come on, I want to see the Draco. Come on.
Oh man, Ivan is as persistent as ever. I'll be real.
Gonna get that little chip. Gonna get that little chip damage. That could be the difference between Draco Meteor. I mean, if Draco Meteor misses, you still drop to Terra Blast. Yep. I don't really have an answer here. I think you have to get like a super crit on like Flash Cannon or something. You have to aim for the Tyranitar, hope the Draco misses. I don't know. I think I don't know if there's much of a way into this. Come on, no, come on! I wanted the Draco.
Heat Wave goes into the Como-O next. No burn. We'll take some life for recoil. Body press goes into the High Dragon. Not enough to knock out. The Sand will take it, but the Sand will not get to take it because the battle is already over. Jae Jee gonna win 2-0 over Ivan Garcia.
Sadly, didn't get the Draco. It was well played from Jay. Both some pretty unconventional teams, and it's always interesting seeing someone play against a team like this because I think all bulky Pokemon, all bulky Pokemon is certainly usable in this metagame. Like Ivan's team, like all slow, bulky Pokemon, even with not super consistent Trick Room. Like Porygon 2 is a pretty good Trick Roomer, but it's not insane efficiencies in getting that Trick Room off. But it's interesting seeing someone play against that, because the Tyranitar is pretty slow and was able to outspeed quite a bit in that Trick Room and get a lot of work done.
Yeah, absolutely. And can we just give a shout out to a Tyranitar getting those knockoffs and that EV Light out of the way, because that proved to be the pivotal point of both these battles. And I want to go back to your point where it's like unconventional teams. I think unconventional teams are a part of Regulation H just because of the sheer diversity of the metagame.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's so much going on in this metagame. I mean, we've seen a lot of people run multi-weather teams just because of how much that answers and how much you want to answer of other teams. There's just a lot of different... just a lot of stuff to deal with this in this metagame, and it's always interesting seeing how players try to deal with the stuff that gets thrown at them.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and take a round 2 break here. We'll be back for round number 3, and hopefully some more Pokemon action right after this break.